thing. May I now request Mr. Ajay Khajuria. Mr. Ajay Khajuria has been erstwhile Director Tourism और इन्होंने सारे nuances को देखा है, जो उसकी technicalities हैं, मुबारक मंडी की conservation की या conversion to hotels की, उसके सारे जो rules, regulations, decisions taken, they were all when he was the Director Tourism. So he is privy to all that what happened and what decisions were taken. So may I now request Mr. Ajay Khajuria to please enlighten us with what are the views that he feels about the whole thing about this particular subject. Mr. Ajay Khajuria, please.
Thank you, Brigadier Sahab, for inviting me to this webinar. And thank you to President DOGRAS Sadar Sabha, Charak Sahab, for giving the overall picture in which we are holding this discussion today. The main thing that is, as you said in your opening remarks, Brigadier Sahab, was that whether there should be a hotel or not, it should be conserved as it is. That is the, I would say, the main issue of contention, but there are some others and I will come to them, whatever I understand, what are the issues which are going on in the minds of people. Now this question, whether there should be a hotel or not, this question arises because generally people do not have an idea of what are the implications of having a hotel and how an heritage is conserved all over the world. Very few people have done any research into it. Mostly people have a good idea about a hotel. Oh, 5-star hotel, but yeah, they might have once or twice gone there also, or may have gone there many times. And they have a vague idea that, yeah, agar hotel ban jayega, bahut acha ho. And they also feel that hotel banne se tourist yahan aa jayega. So, iske karan ye ek discussion ka point ban gaya. That is why this is the under discussion now. Well, what I know, what I have seen all my life, what I've seen, what I've studied, what I've seen, experienced, what I've seen when I've gone out and seen various places within and outside the country. The thing is that wherever there is outstanding, the key heritage of a region or a country, it is never converted into a hotel. In fact, it is protected. Why it is not converted? I'll come to that later, but first I'll give a few examples. For example, if it were a very good idea to convert every heritage into a hotel, why not convert Red Fort into a hotel? It has some very good palaces inside. It would be an excellent hotel. It will do roaring business. But let me tell you, no tourist will come. It would be an excellent idea to convert Taj Mahal into a hotel. What a wonderful place. There is also some talk about, destination weddings. What a beautiful location for a destination wedding Taj Mahal is. But Taj Mahal, nobody says it should be converted into a hotel. Yes, there are many hotels named Taj Hotel. There is a big hotel chain called Taj Mahal Hotel Chain or something. But nobody says or thinks, even thinks about converting Taj Mahal into a hotel or a marriage destination. Similarly, if you go to Jaipur, will anybody think of turning Amer Fort into a hotel? Amer Fort is larger than Mubarak Mandi. It has a beautiful palace inside, and it is as old, if not older, than some of the older parts of our Mubarak Mandi. But they are maintained just exactly like that. Small rooms, one room leading into the other. Things like that. I mean, you name it. If you are talking of destination weddings, tell me, will you get permission to have a destination wedding in Shalimar Bagh in Srinagar? Nobody will give you that permission because heritage is protected. It has a sanctity, and particularly that heritage, which is the primary heritage of a place. I was in Edinburgh. I was doing a course on tourism in Edinburgh. Edinburgh has a beautiful castle called the Edinburgh Castle. Beautiful. It can be converted into a hotel today. They don't do it because Edinburgh Castle pulls people like a magnet, from all over the world, and they go to Edinburgh to see Edinburgh Castle. So all over the world, the key and the outstanding heritage of any place is preserved and protected for centuries. The Tower of London is 500 years old. Even the cobblestones that were there 500 years ago are there today. So the people who live there, just as Honorable Charak Saab said, that this is the Dogra pride. Thirdly, it gives an identity for the generations to come. How will they know what Dogras were? How will anybody know bone of contention between these two countries? That line was drawn by the Dogras, by General Zorawar Singh. Who knows it? That will be known when Mubarak Mandi is preserved as the headquarters, as the seat of that power, from where the forces set course to Ladakh. They went to Gilgit, to Baltistan, all these places. This has to be showcased. There have to be sound and light programs telling, showing people that this is what it was. This is how Zorawar Singh went. There have to be visuals. There have to be their, portraits. There have to be their armory, the armor they wear, the ammunition and other things, the swords and all that they use. That is what will preserve our identity, that this is what we are. This is what we are. We are the Dogras. Now, this is something which is prevalent all over the world. It is not that we are trying to invent the wheel today in Jammu and in Mubarak Mandi के क्या करना चाहिए. पूरी दुनिया को पता है क्या करना चाहिए. इसमें कोई दो राय है ही नहीं. The president of the Indian Association of Tour Operators has written to the Honorable Lieutenant Governor telling him that what are you doing? He's written in his letter that 90% of the tourists coming to India come through my members, and to convert it into a hotel is not a good idea at all. You please have that EOI withdrawn. He is not talking through his head. He knows what he is saying. I mean, you take the conservationists, you take any, just like a layman say कि जी होटल होना चाहिए, वो बड़ा अच्छा होगा जी. Today is the time when the tourists, you must have read it, I think most of you, that this is the time of ecotourism. Ecotourism is the means the tourist, when he goes from home, he wants to be sure that where I am going, I will see the culture of that place. I will see even the natural heritage of that place. I will see the customs of that place. I will see the history of that place, the way it is. He doesn't like to stay in hotel. Another thing about ecotourists, they don't want to stay in hotels. If you tell them that, okay, you will be staying so and so hotel, he said, no, I don't want to go there. I want to go to a place where I have a homestay, where I can live as a person, where I come to know of his culture. This is the worldwide trend in tourism. This is what the whole world is talking about. And here we are debating on a topic कि यार hotel होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए. You see, there are hotels. No doubt there are hotels in Rajasthan, but not in their primary and main heritage. They are secondary heritage. They are private properties. The primary heritage, that is why by thinking of converting into a hotel, it will diminish its heritage value. People will not come here. They will not come here because it's a heritage hotel, so let's go and be there and see the heritage. No, they will come and say, what have these people done? What are these people? They have destroyed their own heritage. It will diminish the attraction. Then the feeling that, oh, it will create tourism is again wrong. Hotels doesn't create tourism. We have Hotel Radisson in Jammu. You tell me, around hotel heritage, how many other small or ancillary or community shops have benefited from it? How many shops are benefiting from Hotel Asia? For that matter, any hotel. It doesn't happen. It only happens when you have a cultural center. If you have in Mubarak Mandi a light and sound program going every day, if you have a museum which displays everything, if you have lifestyle galleries which give you the lifestyle of not only the people of Jammu, not only the royals of Jammu, but also the tribals of Jammu, the people of Kashmir, the people of Ladakh, the lifestyle of the people of Gilgit, Baltistan, Chitral, all that which formed a part of the Dogra Empire, of which Mubarak Mandi was the seat at one point of time. Now, these are the considerations that one has to think of before, deciding whether we should have a hotel or not. Secondly, the proposal as we understand it is in the Rani Mahals. Now, Rani Mahals are the oldest part of the Mubarak Mandi. The buildings there are 200 years old. There are some other buildings which may be 100 years old, but they are 200 years old. Very small rooms. There is one room leading into the other. And there is no way you can convert it into a hotel without demolishing, large-scale demolition. Why should that be allowed? Who will benefit from it? Except for the hotel owner. He's the only person who will benefit. Nobody else will. The guests will come to his hotel. They'll sit in a cab in the airport. The barrier will be lifted for the cab to go in. And the next time the barrier is lifted only when he's going back to the hotel, to the airport. So this is what it is. You should know the realities before discussing these things. You have a vague idea. Oh, ji, hotel bada acha ho jayega. So that is one reason. And then when they damage it, if they make a 50-room hotel, for example, and they make 50 bathrooms, toilets, and they try to attach with the rooms, which rooms themselves don't have any size, but the rooms have to be expanded, then the bathrooms have to be made. The beautiful frescoes inside, the Sheesh Mahal inside, the beautiful ceilings, the wooden ceiling with beautiful, 100-year-old, 200-year-old paintings and carvings will be gone. Is that what we want? Is that what is this is what should be done? This should not be done. This is not done anywhere in the world. You see, Harinivas Palace Hotel, firstly, was probably constructed about 80-90 years ago. Secondly, the Maharaja Hari Singh, when he constructed it for his own use, he had beautiful bathrooms, big bathtubs brought from I don't know where, maybe UK or someplace. You go to that hotel, you find that there are, so that hotel already has all these things. But in these Rani Mahal, you have to break them down in large scale, reconvert them, totally change their shape, which is not acceptable to anybody, least of all to the tourists who will be coming here. When the foreign tourist comes here, there may be some business tourist coming from Bombay. He may not be bothered. He may come and stay here, do his business, go back. But if we are expecting that foreign tourists will come here, and foreign tourists can come here, this site has been listed. This has been sent for listing as in the tentative list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. It has not yet made it, but the application is very much there with UNESCO. Now, इस किस्म की इसके बीच में जब हम इसको होटल बना देंगे तो तबाह कर देंगे. What is the point? So that was the first thing that I want to say, that permanent irretrievable damage to the heritage is unacceptable, should be unacceptable to any right-thinking person, and therefore the hotel should not be there. Then there are some people who have the feeling कि चलो यार होटल ही बन जाए सही, अब तक तो कुछ हुआ नहीं, ऐसे कुछ नहीं हुआ तो चलो ऐसे ही सही. Firstly, that we should compromise with our heritage just because अब तक कुछ नहीं हुआ तो इसलिए compromise करो. I don't think that is sensible. When we are talking of conserving it, we are talking of our progeny. We are talking of our children and grandchildren who will be visiting this or who will derive their identity from it maybe 50 years from now or 100 years from now. Secondly, ऐसा भी नहीं है कि कुछ नहीं हुआ. As Mr. Charak pointed out, that yeah, till from 1947 till about 2005 or so or 6, there were offices there. The deterioration kept on making. किसी ने किल लगा दिया पेंटिंग के ऊपर, किसी ने प्लास्टर मार दिया, किसी ने चूना लगा दिया, किसी ने कुछ कर दिया, बड़ी खराबी हुई. लेकिन जब इसकी साइंटिफिक कंजर्वेशन का काम शुरू हुआ, which was around 2006 or 7, when the Mubarak Mandi Heritage Society came into being, proper and scientific means of conserving it were considered. No doubt it took some time before arriving at the final solution, because initially ASI को काम दिया गया. ASI did also the work. ASI are of course the best organization to conserve any place in the country, but they also have their limitation. There were two limitations that came to the side. One was they said कि हम 2 करोड़ से ज़्यादा एक काम नहीं कर सकेंगे एक साल में, because we have they have 3600 properties spread over all over country which they have to look after, and they don't have that much staff. So they said 2 crores a year. Now for Mubarak Mandi, 2 crores a year means 100 years for conserving it. Secondly, they said कि reuse नहीं हम, we will not do any changes in the building for its reuse. For example, कहीं बिजली लगानी है और कई चीजें ऐसी हैं जो कि की जाती है. It is allowed even by international conventions and by all conventions in a way that it doesn't change the basic structure of the building. But अगर एक आपने म्यूजियम रखना है अंदर और म्यूजियम में आपने कोई आर्टिफैक्ट रखना है, तो उसके ऊपर लाइट जब तक फोकस नहीं करोगे तो बड़ी भारी ढिंची जगह होगी, वो कौन जाएगा वहां पर. All over the world, museums are very well lit. The artifacts there are under focus. And there वो कहने लगे कि हम नहीं कर पाएंगे, हमारा ये काम है. तो इसमें कुछ टाइम निकल गया, 2-4 साल निकल गए. एक बिल्डिंग उन्होंने कर भी दी, आर्मी हेडक्वार्टर्स 1-2 कर रहे हैं, अभी तक कर रहे हैं. Then Intact, who actually made all the drawings for the whole complex and gave us some proposals कि क्या क्या हो सकता है. ये सजेस्टेड के होटल बना देते हैं यहाँ पर एक बिल्डिंग में, रानी चारक में. तो आप देखिए कि अगर यहाँ बन सकता है तो इधर बनाया जाए, तो इट मे बी अ गुड आइडिया. Intact is they were our consultant. They were from Delhi. We thought that these are the people. What they must be saying is right. लेकिन जब वो सारा हुआ, जैसे चारक साहब ने बताया, तो बात आई कि भाई अब RFP बनाना है, अब रियल प्रपोजल बनाना है. एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट तो बुला लिया, लोगों ने कह दिया जी हम इंटरेस्टेड है. अब उनको तो चाहिए था पूरा प्रपोजल कि कैसे होगा, क्या होगा, कितनी तोड़फोड़ होगी, कितना पैसा लगेगा, क्या. तो RFP बनाने के लिए उन्होंने कहा कि ये इंटरनेशनल कंसल्टेंट, प्रॉपर्टी मैनेजमेंट कंसल्टेंट्स, who they said they are the people who will advise you. जब वो यहाँ आए तो उन्होंने उसके बीच में बड़ी सारी खामियां निकाली. चलो कुछ खामियां तो थी, जैसे पार्किंग अप्रोच, ये चलो वो तो हो गया. मेन खामी उन्होंने ये बताई कि इसके बीच में यू कैनॉट मेक ए हेरिटेज होटल इन इट विदाउट मैसिव चेंजेस टू द बिल्डिंग्स, without changing the buildings altogether, which is called design efficiency. उन्होंने कहा इसकी डिजाइन एफिशिएंसी नहीं है. नो, एक बार उन्होंने कह दिया डिजाइन एफिशिएंसी नहीं है, तो इट वाज समथिंग कि यस, अगर नहीं है तो देन हाउ कैन यू गिव इट टू इट. फिर उसके बाद ASI के लोगों ने कई मीटिंग्स में हमें ये बात बताई, एंड ऑल्सो अदर एक्सपर्ट्स टोल्ड अस कि भाई ये प्रोटेक्टेड मॉन्यूमेंट में होटल नहीं बनता है, बिकॉज होटल के बीच में चेंजेस होनी ही होनी है. जिस किस्म की चेंजेस एक होटल में होती हैं वो प्रोटेक्टेड मॉन्यूमेंट के साथ जेल नहीं करती, और कहीं भी हिंदुस्तान में कहीं भी जो है कोई होटल जो है प्रोटेक्टेड मॉन्यूमेंट में नहीं बना. सो वो बात खत्म हो गई. तो इन चीज़ों को 5 से 7 साल लग गए. बीच में चेंज होती रही, द कंपोजिशन चेंज, ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग होती रही, एक नॉलेज बेस बनता गया, एंड फाइनली समवेयर अराउंड 2016 the Mubarak Mandi Society came to the conclusion, and they decided in their governing body that instead of ASI, we will get it done through expert agencies, जिनकी कोई कमी नहीं है in India or in Rajasthan or Delhi or UP or Bangalore or Calcutta, so many places, but under very strict norms, very strict supervision. Let's get it done by them. एक समय में 3-4-5-6 एजेंसीज को दे दो, किसी को एक, किसी को दो, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन, आफ्टर ऑल इट हैज टू बी डन थ्रू ई टेंडरिंग. Whoever gets how many, आप उनको एक ही समय में दो, 2 साल में इसको तैयार कर दो। तो उसके मुताबिक एक पूरा प्लान बन गया, सारे एस्टिमेशन हो गई, सारा कुछ बन गया। एंड इन द नेक्स्ट मीटिंग इन 2019, ये अपने गवर्नर साहब जो थे इनके, मिस्टर सत्यपाल मलिक, he approved that plan. He laid down very strict norms. He said that this should be done as per the codal procedure. It should be done through e-tendering. Every person who is selected should have the requisite experience, and also the work will be supervised both by the consultant as well as by ASI. Foolproof. And now we came to a stage जब ये काम फटोफट 2-3 साल में हो सकता था। अगर वो 2019 से लेके अब तक ये it had been proceeded with the way it was, अब तक ये काम शायद खत्म होने की कगार पे होता। But unfortunately, all should understand, ये मतलब ये कोई ऐसे एम्प्टी बात नहीं है, ये कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है कि ऐसे ही की जा रही है। सबको पता है, जानते हैं, ईच एंड एवरीबॉडी जम्मू निवासी नोज, जिसका चाणक्य साहब ने इशारा दिया, that there were forces who didn't want it to actually happen, and they thought कि ओहो ये तो डोगरे कर गए, ये तो सारा कुछ हो गया, ये तो इन्होंने पूरा प्लान भी बना दिया, एक फ्रेमवर्क भी बना दिया, ये तो अब 2-3 साल में ये तो बन जाएगी और ये तो हो जाएगी, दिस विल बिकम ए talk of the town. It will not talk of the town, it will become a talk of the country. It will come on the national global tourist map. Therefore, unfortunately, somewhere a new seed was sown in some minds. Who did it? Who all were involved? Who fell for it? Who carried it forward? The expression of interest was suddenly brought out. Okay? Expression of interest too, just to sabotage that plan, which if it had been, the Mubarak Mandi Society did take 7-8 years to arrive at that conclusion. But once they arrived at that conclusion, once they did it, it should have been implemented. वो implement करने के बजाय एक डाइवर्जन, वो डाइवर्जन ऐसी जिसके बीच में डिवीजन हो जाए सोसाइटी में, आधे कहे जी होना चाहिए, आधे कहे नहीं होना चाहिए, with the result stalemate, ठप। Unfortunately, this is the story of delays. कोई डिले इन्वॉल्व नहीं है इसको कंजर्व करने में। It can be done today if it is done wholeheartedly, but if you divert to hotel and other such ideas, so this is my second point. तीसरी बात है कि ये भी बात की जाती है जी पहले हुआ था, कब हुआ था। मैं चाणक्य साहब has already replied this, but I will just say कि अगर आपको एक बार आप किसी गर्म पानी में हाथ डालो, आपका हाथ जल जाए, खींच लेते हो, तो दूसरी बारी फिर उबलते पानी में हाथ डालो, कोई आपको पूछे क्यों डालो, हाँ जी कोई बात नहीं, पहले भी तो डाला था। ऐसे थोड़ी होता है। Once you came to know that it cannot be done because the design efficiency is not there, today what are you hoping? Some new design efficiency will come. No new design efficiency can be there. वो buildings बनी है जैसी बनी है, उधर होटल बन ही नहीं सकता। It is only to delay and to sabotage a beautiful conservation plan which was prepared by the collective wisdom of the Mubarak Mandi Society and the experience Mubarak Mandi Society gained over a period of 8 years and finally converted into the right decision to do the work within 2-3 years. तीसरा ये, एक बात कभी ये भी आती है फंडिंग की, वो जी होटल वाला पैसे लगा देगा, हमारे पास पता नहीं पैसे होंगे या नहीं होंगे। ये भी बिल्कुल उन लोगों की बात है जिन लोगों को पता नहीं है। जिन लोग अखबार अच्छी तरह पढ़ते होंगे उनको शायद उन्होंने पढ़ा भी होगा कि 19-20 में गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने 2000 करोड़ ईयर मार्क किया था J&K के लिए फॉर टूरिज्म प्रोजेक्ट्स। नाउ इट वाज नॉट दैट उन्होंने पैसा दे दिया कि खर्चो, उन्होंने ईयर मार्क किया। स्टेट गवर्नमेंट और later on the UT government was supposed to send them the projects and the projects will be sanctioned. The state government and later the UT government could not utilize that money more than 200, 300 or 400 crores. The rest was all gone. 500 करोड़ का इसका कंजर्वेशन प्लान है। अगर आपने वो वाले अप्रूव्ड प्रोजेक्ट्स भेजे होते, 500 रुपया वो होता तो अब तक ये तैयार हो गया होता. सो पैसे की कमी नहीं है. इवन अदरवाइज मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कल्चर हैज बीन सेइंग सो मेनी टाइम्स देयर इज नो शॉर्टेज ऑफ मनी इन सो मेनी मीटिंग्स. फिर 2021 में अगेन 1000 करोड़ रखा गया. अगेन नथिंग हैपेंड. बट इसलिए नहीं हुआ, नॉट बिकॉज कि लोगों को पता नहीं था कि ये किया जा सकता है, बिकॉज बाय दैट टाइम द आइडिया ऑफ अ होटल हैड जर्मिनेटेड, although that was kept a secret from everybody. When everything else was done by the Mubarak Mandi Heritage Society in the public domain, Mubarak Mandi Society के 15 जो member हैं, they are senior officers of the state government or now the UT government, and 15 या 16 members are from the citizens of Jammu, who are good administrators, retired people, who are otherwise conservationists or otherwise known, who have the capacity to contribute. जब ये सारे decisions right up to the final conservation plan एक इतने बड़े forum में with the consent, with the brainstorming and with every other transparent situation that you may think of, जब वो बन गया तो आपको सरप्टिशली बिल्कुल चोरी चोरी एक प्लान बनाने की क्या जरूरत थी, और उसको बंद करने की, इसको बंद करोगी, ये करेंगे. तो व्हाट आई मीन इज दैट व्हेन वी टॉक ऑफ अ होटल, my view is that we should know in depth that what it means. We should know in depth that what conserving it means, because जो conservation plan था उसके बीच में था light and sound programs, उसके बीच में था म्यूजियम्स, और म्यूजियम्स जो छोटे म्यूजियम एक आध पैलेस में आने वाला म्यूजियम नहीं है. द अमाउंट ऑफ, जैसे चाणक साहब ने कहा 700 अगर वो पेंटिंग्स ही डिस्प्ले करनी हो तो मेरे को लगता है 2 या 3 पैलेसेस तो सिर्फ पेंटिंग्स के लिए चाहिए. एंड फिर आर्मरी है, देन देयर आर सो मेनी अदर आर्टिफैक्ट्स. तो म्यूजियम्स के लिए 3-4 पैलेसेस, 5 उसके लिए चाहिए. देयर हैज टू बी इंटरप्रिटेशन सेंटर. देन देयर इज द आर्काइव्स, जिसके बीच में जैसे बता रहे थे कि चशूल की ट्रीटी भी वहां पड़ी है. पूरी दुनिया के यहाँ पर आते रहे हैं, कोई ये नई बात नहीं है. देयर हैव बीन स्कॉलर्स कमिंग फ्रॉम ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड टू स्टडी इन द आर्काइव्स लाइब्रेरी द हिस्ट्री ऑफ दिस प्लेस. हम लोग नहीं पढ़ते, लेकिन बाहर के लोग आके पढ़ते हैं. देन देयर हैज टू बी अ कंजर्वेशन लैब. देन देयर हैव टू बी रिसेप्शन एरियाज. ये सारे, देन वी कैन हैव एग्जीबिशंस, वी कैन हैव स्मॉल कॉन्फ्रेंसेस, जो कि ये सारी जो है दिस विल पे बैक फॉर, ये जो लाइट एंड साउंड प्रोग्राम ही काफी पे बैक कर देगा, लेकिन सबको डाल के मेंटेनेंस के लिए पे बैक हो जाएगा. एंड देन देयर आर दो लाइफस्टाइल गैलरी जो मैंने बताया कि उसके बीच में चित्राल तक की वो सारी होगी. देयर विल बी अ क्राफ्ट सेंटर, देयर विल बी सो मच एक्टिविटी इनसाइड. उसके लिए ये जगह कम पड़ जाएगी. तो ये कहना जी कि बड़ी जगह है, इसमें एक साइड पे होटल हो जाए, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, बिल्कुल गलत है. इट्स एब्सोल्युटली रॉन्ग. This is against the principles of conservation. This is against the promotion of heritage tourism to Jammu. And I very strongly feel that this should be dropped as early as possible. This should be dropped immediately. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Khajuria. आपने बड़े अच्छे points बताए. Technical points that structural deficiencies are there. अगर होटल बनता है, there will be requirement of making large number of toilets and your sewage system, etc. And then you also very validly and very correctly said the attraction of tourists would be more in case it is a heritage site rather than being a being a hotel. And then you also said that enough amount of money is available, and then it is not only that just a sort of a conserved building. It would display all the history, the armory, the heritage, the various things which are connected with the conquest of General Zorawar Singh towards Tibet, or even General Gulab Singh's, Maharaja Gulab Singh's coronation and Akhnur and various events that happened along with the Sikh Empire and all other things there. Very validly pointed out, right, sir?
Please like and subscribe.